So, an unfortunate occurrence has happened in the development of the African Village Life content, the AVL. As we all know, the AVL was a beautiful content with Clarice and the husband. It was a program of empowering, like the women in the village, to do more, and using YouTube as a medium because YouTube is really empowering. See what YouTube has done for Mara. See what YouTube has done for Clarice and James. See what YouTube has done for Mama Chogo. So when it comes to a point where there is war and it is seen as if there is a money war and people are not paid their dues, it can be disappointing. So the previous 2 weeks, there has been drama in the African Village Life team because there was a team that was saying that Clarice and James have been defrauded of their money, and then there's the other team with Linet and Chalokush on the same. So the unfortunate thing is that we might never really get to know the truth. What we are hearing is there's the Clarice side, there's the Linet side, and there's always three sides to a thing. So there's the truth, there's the your side, the other person's side, and now the truth, which we might never not get to know because most of these conversations maybe were heard by just both of them. So it's not something that we can quantify, but Clarice and James are the ones who spoke first and say they are breaking out from the channel. They feel like they haven't been paid their dues, and yet people were questioning because they had seen a lot of progress. They had seen the land that was bought, they had seen the construction of the house. So what happens, the YouTube views, they get so many views, like a single video for them can just have even to 50k views. They are currently at 500,000 subscribers. So for those who understand YouTube, those are not easy numbers. They're not easy numbers, and those are good numbers for money and not easy to achieve. So it came to a point that even in the media, there were rumors that, they're only being paid 49,000 Kenyan shillings per month. That's probably around like 300,000 or 250 to 300,000. But it's also in the Kenya's economy, because this is a third world country, that is a lot of money. And how the Linet and Kush are coming to put it like is that they had employed Clarice and James. So to even find a job in Kenya that pays 49,000, it's not easy. It's not easy because the average Kenyan salary is 20,000. That is around 100,000, just slightly less than 100,000. And that is the story that is so sad because they had worked together for a long time. So today, Linet and Chalokush came up to say their own side of the story, and then so that we got to understand their own perspective, because Chalokush was saying he gets to move all the way from Kirinyaga to Vipingo to where they live to shoot because he's the camera guy. He's literally the brains of the cinematography prowess that we see with these people, and it's just so amazing because yes, the content is clean. The content is very clean, good quality content. So when it got to a point where they were having to separate, then a new crew came in to say they are calling themselves the rescue team. That is Jihan and also the JT people. So they are just coming to say they are saving Clarice, they are saving James. But the story was never clear because there were also, claims that Yihan has just does this content, or there were claims that allegedly Yihan sold Clarice to Linet and Chalokush for $100. That one we may never not get to know the truth about that because there's no evidence presented. But so today, what we get to know is the side of Linet and Chalokush, and where Linet and Chalokush actually say that he had recorded most of their conversations, so he has evidence. They came with evidence. They didn't just come like that. They came with evidence. He had M-Pesa statement. They said they didn't have the bank statement. They just took the M-Pesa. So there were bank statement. There was M-Pesa statement. And he recalls a time where the sister to James is Clarice's husband, called him and said, Chalokush, my brother is threatening to kill himself. He wants to hang himself because he's saying that Clarice wants to take the land away from him. And then they convinced him and told him, no, it's not possible because it's joint ownership. You just relax. So a lot happened because there were also rumors that allegedly Clarice is short-tempered, not good to the husband, and that is why everything just becomes a whole story. But what do we learn from this story? We learn that there's so much that we as the public may not get to know because this was an agreement between people that worked together, an agreement between people who knew each other, and then they decided to work together to just make things better. So what I'd advise is that for anybody going to do content like the African Village, which is a trending content right now, it is the content that is making so many creators so much money because they get viewership not only from Kenya but from United States, from Canada, from other countries that really pull in the revenue. If you want to get YouTube money, you better have an audience that is more Americans, because now the ad makes sense. The ads make sense because now the population is able to buy. But as a Kenyan population, it's really struggling. So most of us feel like even the money they were being paid, the 49,000, the $300 US dollars, is a lot of money because it's not money that is easy to get. And then it's an opportunity that they had. They were not in a very good condition because, for those who know, where Claris and James live in Kenya is one of the poorest areas in the country. They are marginalized, they are underdeveloped, so it is the poorest areas in the country. So to get a job that pays 49,000 for them, it's even not easy. And as I'm saying, even for somebody who lives in the capital, Nairobi City, 49,000 is a lot of money as salary for an average worker. So you see, so everybody is coming up with their own stories. People are feeling they got defrauded, but maybe that is the beauty of work. Maybe after everything has cooled down, they can get to come together and maybe just talk and maybe bond over the friendship that they had before the business came. Because the video of Linet and Chalokush, it is titled "Why We Fired Them." So it is not them who quit. We relieved them of their duties. It's like the way you are formally employed, then you are told a termination letter that's on your table. So that is what really happened. And then they're trying to just salvage the whole situation. So now Clarice has a new channel and it's only her channel. Then the husband is now behind the camera doing all the camera work. But for us who know, the content is different. The content is different, you know. I have to give shout out to Chalokush. I think he's really just doing amazing with all this camera work. But the content is different. But at the end of the day, everybody has to do what they have to do. So what I'd say, we proceed with caution, maybe as the public, also as the audience, that we both love these channels. And maybe try and understand both sides of the story. There's an employer who feels an employee has been bad and needs to be relieved of the duties. There's an employee who feels they have been underpaid. Yeah. And we are not the ones to decide what Clarice should earn. Just because I'm saying 49,000 is a lot of money in the Kenyan economy, we don't have the liberty to decide what she should earn. If there was a structured way where she could get the salary done well, that would have been better. But for now, they are going through the ups and downs and trying to just understand the whole hula baloo. So what we can do, we'll just keep on hearing from those sides and just analyzing it. And I'd say, as the audience, can we be prudent in our choices and can we be analytical in our thinking to just understand the both sides? Because both of them are coming in hot. You know, one is feeling disappointed, the other one is feeling they have been stolen from. So that is the current situation. But for those who know, it is not even easy for somebody to earn as much as Clarice was earning way in Vipingo. That is in the coastal area, is a very poor area in Kenya. And then also, Linet, Chalokush came with evidence. So I think if this ever goes to court, or maybe they came really well with evidence. The only disadvantage may be that the Clarice side, maybe they didn't have the evidence or anything, because also there's the intelligence gap. So maybe they might have an amicable agreement away from court, or just maybe decide, the heck, let's do this. So what we can advise is that, what do you guys think? Was it a fair remuneration? Given that the channel was earning a lot. But Chalokush is saying, we bought you a house, we built you a house, we did bring back the earnings to you, which was not what was happening previously with your former employer, who we all know. But at the end of the day, all we can say is that we should proceed with caution, because both sides are hurting, but we should proceed with caution and wisdom.